Something is happening in a quiet corner of South Georgia, and fans of reality television are paying very close attention. Because Olivia Plath is back. After months of emotional distance, public separation, and what many believed was a permanent chapter closed, Olivia has reportedly returned to Cairo, Georgia, the very town fans now recognize as the heart of Welcome to Plathville. And the question that is now spreading like wildfire across social media, fan forums, and entertainment circles is this. Is Olivia Plath filming again? Or is this just a personal visit, one final goodbye, or something much bigger behind the scenes? Because if cameras are rolling, even quietly, it could signal a dramatic shift not just for Olivia, but for the entire future of Plathville itself. Tonight, we're digging deep into everything we know, everything being reported, and everything fans are starting to piece together in what could be one of the most pivotal turning points in this series' history. To understand why Olivia Plath's return to Cairo matters, you have to understand just how complicated and emotionally charged her history with the Plath family truly is. Olivia Plath first entered the public spotlight as the wife of Teegan Plath, one of the central figures of Welcome to Plathville, a TLC reality series that quickly gained attention for its portrayal of a deeply conservative, highly structured family navigating modern life. From the very beginning, Olivia stood out. She wasn't raised within the same strict environment as the Plath children. She had experienced more of the outside world, social media, travel, independence, and that difference created both connection and conflict. At first, Olivia and Ethan's relationship became a kind of emotional anchor for the show. Viewers watched them grow together, challenge each other, and attempt to carve out their own identity separate from the expectations of Ethan's parents, Kim and Barry Plath. But over time, that tension intensified. What started as small disagreements evolved into deeper, more painful divisions, particularly between Olivia and Ethan's mother, Kim Plath. The conflict wasn't just personal, it was ideological. It was about control, autonomy, boundaries, and ultimately, trust. As seasons progressed, audiences witnessed emotional confrontations, periods of estrangement, and moments that felt less like reality TV and more like raw, unfiltered family therapy playing out on screen. And then came the breaking point. Olivia and Ethan's marriage began to unravel in front of viewers. According to public statements and episodes aired, the couple faced increasing difficulties reconciling their differences. Differences about lifestyle, family involvement, future goals, and emotional communication. Reports and interviews suggested that Olivia was seeking independence and clarity, while Ethan struggled with the pull between his wife and his family. Eventually, the separation became official. And with that, many fans believed Olivia's connection to Plathville was effectively over. She had moved on, geographically, emotionally, and professionally. Her social media presence showed a woman rebuilding, rediscovering herself, and stepping into a life that seemed increasingly distant from Cairo, Georgia. So when whispers began that Olivia had been spotted back in Cairo, it didn't just raise eyebrows. It raised questions. The reports started quietly. According to multiple fan accounts and social media sightings, Olivia Plath was recently seen in and around Cairo, Georgia, the small town that serves as the central filming location for Welcome to Plathville. Now, it's important to be clear, there has been no official confirmation from TLC, the Plath family, or Olivia herself that filming is currently taking place or that she is participating in it. But the timing is what has people talking. Because these sightings didn't happen in isolation. They came at a moment when speculation about a new season of Plathville has already been building. Several members of the Plath family have posted content that fans believe hints at renewed production activity. Subtle clues, such as changes in posting patterns, background setups, and even the presence of what appear to be production crews, have fueled ongoing theories that filming may be underway. And then Olivia appears back in Cairo. According to sources and online discussions, she was seen in familiar locations, places previously featured on the show. While none of these sightings have been independently verified by major outlets, the consistency of the reports has added weight to the speculation. So what could this mean? There are a few possibilities being discussed. 1. Olivia could simply be visiting for personal reasons, perhaps to finalize matters related to her past, reconnect with individuals, or even for logistical reasons tied to her separation from Ethan. 2. She could be filming, either as a full participant in a new season or in a more limited capacity, possibly to provide closure or update viewers on her life post-separation. 3, and perhaps most intriguing, is the idea that producers may be crafting a new narrative arc, one that reintroduces Olivia not as Ethan's partner, but as an independent figure navigating life after the Plath family. If that's the case, it would represent a significant shift in how the show tells its story. But again, without official confirmation, all of this remains speculation. Still, in the world of reality television, speculation often precedes revelation. From a media and production standpoint, Olivia Plath's potential return, especially in a filming capacity, would be a strategic move with significant implications. Reality television thrives on continuity, conflict, and character evolution. Olivia has been central to all three. Her relationship with Ethan, her conflict with Kim Plath, and her journey toward independence have all been major drivers of audience engagement. Losing her entirely from the series would leave a noticeable gap, not just in storyline, but in emotional investment. Industry experts often note that when a key figure exits a reality show, producers face a critical choice: either replace that dynamic with new personalities or find a way to reintroduce the original figure in a new context. If Olivia is indeed filming, it could signal that producers are opting for the latter. There's also a legal and contractual angle to consider. If there's one place where this story is truly unfolding in real time, it's online. Across platforms like TikTok, Instagram, Reddit, and Twitter, fans are dissecting every possible clue. Some are convinced that Olivia's return confirms filming is underway. Others are more cautious, pointing out the lack of official confirmation and urging restraint in jumping to conclusions. But perhaps the most interesting aspect of the online reaction is how divided it is. There are fans who strongly support Olivia and are excited at the possibility of seeing her story continue, particularly in a way that centers her independence rather than her past relationship. There are also viewers who feel her chapter with the Plath family has already reached its natural conclusion and question whether revisiting it would add anything new. And then there are those who are simply curious, drawn in by the mystery, the possibility, and the emotional weight of what her return could mean. Comments range from hopeful to skeptical to deeply analytical, with fans comparing timelines, analyzing background details and photos, and even mapping out potential story arcs based on past seasons. It's the kind of organic engagement that networks can't manufacture. And it's a clear sign that, whether officially confirmed or not, Olivia Plath remains a central figure in the Plathville universe. If Olivia Plath is filming again, the future of Welcome to Plathville could look very different. Instead of focusing solely on the traditional family structure, the show could evolve into a broader exploration of life after separation, tracking multiple paths rather than a single household narrative. This would align with a larger trend in reality television, where audiences are increasingly interested in individual journeys rather than just group dynamics. For Olivia, a return could redefine her public image once again, not as someone defined by her past relationship, but as someone actively shaping her future. For Ethan, it could reopen emotional territory that has yet to fully settle. And for the Plath family as a whole, it could introduce new tensions, new conversations, and potentially new opportunities for reconciliation or further division. But if she's not filming, then this moment still matters. Because it shows that even after stepping away, Olivia's presence continues to influence the narrative, both on and off screen. At its core, this story isn't just about television. It's about people. It's about a young woman who entered a complex family dynamic, navigated public scrutiny, and ultimately made the difficult decision to walk away in pursuit of something different. It's about the emotional weight of returning to a place that holds both memories and conflict. And it's about the universal experience of trying to move forward, while pieces of the past remain unfinished. For many viewers, Olivia's journey mirrors their own in some way. The struggle to set boundaries. The challenge of balancing relationships with personal growth. The courage it takes to start over. Whether she's filming or not, her return to Cairo represents something deeply human. The idea that sometimes, in order to truly move forward, you have to revisit where you've been, and now the conversation turns to you. Do you think Olivia Plath is filming again? Or is this simply a personal visit being blown into something bigger? Should she return to Plathville, or is it time for the show to move on without her? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you want more in-depth, fact-driven breakdowns like this, stories that go beyond the headlines and into what's really happening, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Because as this story continues to develop, one thing is certain. We'll be right here, following every detail. What makes this moment especially compelling isn't just that Olivia Plath has returned to Cairo, it's when she has returned. Because in reality television, timing is rarely accidental. Production cycles for shows like Welcome to Plathville typically follow a quiet but predictable rhythm. Filming often begins months before any official announcement is made. Cast members become more guarded online. Backgrounds change. Interactions shift. And perhaps most telling of all, there are gaps. Gaps in posting. Gaps in location tags. Gaps that suggest something is happening just out of view. And right now, according to ongoing fan observations, those gaps are beginning to appear again. Several viewers have pointed out that certain members of the Plath family have recently reduced their social media activity or are posting more controlled, less revealing content. While this alone doesn't confirm filming, it does mirror patterns seen in previous seasons. Now add Olivia's reported presence in Cairo to that equation, and suddenly, what looked like coincidence begins to feel more like coordination. Still, it's important to stay grounded in facts. There has been no official statement from TLC confirming a new season is currently in production. No press release. No teaser. No trailer. But in the world of unscripted television, silence often speaks volumes. Because networks don't always announce filming while it's happening. Sometimes they wait. They let the story build naturally. They let speculation grow. And then, when the audience is already emotionally invested, they reveal everything. Do you understand why her return matters on such a deep level? You have to look beyond the show and into Olivia's personal journey. Because Olivia Plath's story was never just about being a reality TV personality. It was about transformation. When she first appeared on Plathville, she was navigating a complex role, wife, outsider, bridge between two worlds. She was trying to honor her relationship with Ethan while also asserting her own identity. But over time, that balancing act became unsustainable. And what viewers witnessed wasn't just marital strain. It was a person evolving in real time, choosing independence, choosing boundaries, choosing herself. After her separation from Ethan, Olivia's life appeared to take a different direction. Through her public presence, she shared glimpses of travel, self-reflection, and what many interpreted as a period of rebuilding. She seemed lighter, more grounded, more certain of who she was becoming, which is why her return to Cairo, even temporarily, carries emotional weight. Because Cairo isn't just a location. It represents a chapter. And then there's Ethan. Because any conversation about Olivia returning to Cairo inevitably leads to one question. Where does Ethan fit into all of this? Following their separation, Ethan Plath has maintained a relatively low profile compared to the intensity of attention surrounding Olivia's journey. While he has appeared in previous seasons and shared parts of his perspective, much of his post-separation life has remained less visible. But if filming is indeed taking place, then Ethan's role becomes critical. Would he and Olivia appear on screen together again? Would there be direct interaction, or would their stories be told separately? Would the show explore unresolved emotions, or avoid them entirely? These are not just production questions. They are deeply personal ones. Because unlike scripted television, reality TV deals with real relationships, Real histories that don't simply disappear when cameras stop rolling. If Olivia and Ethan are both present in Cairo at the same time, even indirectly, it opens the door to a level of emotional tension that could redefine the series. But again, without confirmed details, this remains an open question. One that fans are watching very closely. Behind every major moment in reality television, there is an invisible layer of decision-making. Producers, editors, story developers. And right now, if Olivia Plath is indeed back in Cairo during a potential filming window, those decision-makers are likely facing a very specific challenge. How do you tell the story responsibly? Because Olivia's journey is not just compelling, it's sensitive. It involves separation, family conflict, personal growth, and the kind of emotional complexity that doesn't always fit neatly into episodic storytelling. On one hand, bringing her back into the narrative could reignite viewer interest and provide a powerful continuation of her arc. On the other hand, there's a risk. A risk of revisiting pain. A risk of oversimplifying real experiences for the sake of television. And in recent years, audiences have become more aware of how reality TV is constructed. There's growing scrutiny around how participants are portrayed, how conflicts are edited, and how much of what viewers see truly reflects reality. So if Olivia is filming again, it's not just about whether she appears on screen. It's about how her story is told. With nuance? With respect? With authenticity? Those are the questions that will ultimately determine how this potential return is received. At this point, the online conversation has evolved far beyond simple speculation. Fans are now building full theories. Some believe Olivia's return could signal a reconciliation arc, not necessarily romantic, but emotional. A chance for closure between her and members of the Plath family, particularly Kim. Others think the show may be pivoting entirely, focusing less on the traditional family structure and more on individual journeys. In that scenario, Olivia could appear as a parallel storyline, separate from the main household but still connected by history. There are even theories suggesting a limited appearance, perhaps a single episode or special segment designed to update viewers on her life since leaving. And then there's the most dramatic possibility, that her return marks the beginning of an entirely new phase of the show, one where past relationships are revisited, unresolved tensions are addressed, and the narrative becomes more introspective than ever before. None of these theories have been confirmed, but the fact that they exist and that they're gaining traction speaks to something important. People are invested. Deeply invested. It would be easy to view this as just another reality TV development. But that would miss the bigger picture. Because the story of Olivia Plath and her connection to Plathville touches on themes that go far beyond entertainment. It's about identity. It's about autonomy. It's about what happens when someone chooses to step away from a life that no longer aligns with who they are. And perhaps most importantly, it's about what happens next. In the United States, where conversations around personal freedom, family dynamics, and self-definition are constantly evolving, stories like this resonate on a deeper level. They reflect real experiences, real struggles, real decisions that millions of people face in their own lives. Do you stay? Do you leave? Do you go back? And if you do, why? That's why this moment, Olivia returning to Cairo, isn't just a piece of entertainment news. It's a continuation of a narrative that many viewers see themselves in. As this story continues to develop, there are a few key signals that could provide clearer answers in the coming weeks. An official announcement from TLC would, of course, be the most definitive confirmation of filming. But short of that, there are other indicators. Changes in cast social media behavior. Increased sightings of production equipment. More consistent reports from locals in Cairo. And perhaps most telling of all, subtle acknowledgments from the individuals involved. A comment. A post. A shift in tone. Because in reality television, the biggest reveals often don't come all at once. They come in pieces. And right now, those pieces are starting to come together. At this moment, we don't have all the answers. We don't know for certain whether Olivia Plath is filming for Welcome to Plathville. We don't know what her return to Cairo ultimately means. But we do know this. Her presence, whether temporary or intentional, has reignited a conversation that never truly went away. And in doing so, it has